Hello, my kako, and welcome everyone to the Board of Trustees meeting. Let the record reflect today is Thursday, January 29th, 2026, and the time is now 9:04 a.m. Board Secretary, can we please get a roll call vote?
Trustee Ahuna.
Eo.
Trustee Akaka.
Eo.
Trustee Akina.
Aloha mai kako.
Trustee Alapa. Trustee Galutaria is excused. Trustee Lindsay should be joining us shortly. Trustee Waihe'e.
Present.
Chair Kahele is excused, and Chair Souza. We have 6 trustees present. You have quorum.
All right, members, mahalo for joining us. All right, this meeting can be viewed via live stream on OHA's website at www.oha.org/livestream and also on Olelo TV. For those joining us on Zoom to testify or listen, please note that we're using the webinar platform rather than the standard Zoom meeting format. As an attendee, you'll be able to watch and listen to the proceedings. If you wish to testify on a specific agenda item, please follow these steps. Raise your hand to indicate that you would like to speak. Number 2, we will change your status from attendee to panelist when it is your turn. This may take a few seconds, so we appreciate your patience. Number 3, as a panelist, you will have the option to turn on your camera and unmute yourself to provide testimony. Number 4, once you have finished testifying, please unmute yourself and you will be returned to attendee status. All right, at this time, first order of business, I'd like to also, before that, introduce K.Sean, our kaupo nui, to introduce the administrative staff joining us here today. Aloha, K.Sean.
Aloha, mahalo nui, trustees. This morning we have with us from administration our investment director and interim CFO Ryan Lee, budget chief Grace Chen, general counsel Everett Ota, director of human resources Corey Nakamoto, our director of OEV Wellbeing and Aina Momona Ku'ike Kamakeo Ohelo, our director of communications Bill Brennan, and our IT systems engineer and administrator Arlene Aguinaldo. Mahalo nui.
Also, mahalo, K.Sean. All right, our first item on the agenda, members, is the approval of minutes. Do we have anyone signed up to speak on this item?
No one is signed up to speak on this item.
Mahalo lehua. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Mr. Chair, if we may
Trustee
take
Kekina.
both December 4th and December 18th, 2025 together, I move that we approve the minutes.
So moved. Any discussion, members? All right, can I get a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Ahuna.
Aye.
Trustee Akaka.
Aye.
Trustee Akina.
Aye.
Trustee Alapa. Trustee Galutaria is excused. Trustee Lindsay is excused. Trustee Waihe'e.
Yes.
Trustee Kahele is excused. Chair Souza.
Aye.
You have 6 yes votes. Motion passes.
Awesome. Mahalo, members. Our next item is the status of OHA activities. An update from our HR department, Human Resources, and I believe we have Corey Nakamoto. Anyone signed up to testify on this item? On all items, all presentations actually coming up.
There's no one signed up for any of the presentations.
Awesome. Thank you. Hello, Corey. Take it away, brother.
All right, aloha, mahalo trustees. So just give you some updates regarding our recruitment status right now. So we are at 27 vacancies currently, which is slightly back up above the 15%. So we're at 16% vacancy rate currently. And that's with the 2 new hires starting next week, Monday. But we already have 4 who are in PRF approvals, meaning that once we get those approvals, we'll be able to go out and make those verbal offers. And so, hopefully, if everyone accepts, then that'll be 4 less vacancies from the 27. And then we have 4 more that are in reference check, 2 in reference check, and 2 in experience score process. And so those also could, in short order, be filled as well, which would bring our vacancy rate down, again, below that 15%. So we would be, if they were to all accept, down to 19 vacancies at that point. So I think we're, trending well. We've been on that positive trend for, over the last 7 months now, and I don't anticipate that, getting any worse. We've also had good retainage. And I think that has a lot to do with a lot of the new benefits that were approved by the board. Yeah, with the paid family leave and such. Any questions regarding recruitment status? Okay, and then as far as HIP, I did want to update all of you on the HIP project. So we started the project back in March of 2025, and it's taken almost a year. But all of the updates have now been entered into HIP as of January 15th of 2026. We've been monitoring and soliciting feedback from supervisors and team members, and we have received some, and to my understanding, we've been able to correct those. There haven't been a whole lot. There have probably been about a handful or so. Some of the issues, just to give everyone some context, we started that system or converted over to that system back in 2018. The last time we did an update was in 2022. Since then, with all of the restructures and changes, because we hadn't done another update, we had a number of issues, including things like people noticing the wrong title on their pay stubs, some managers not having access to their staff's records, some of their records, things of that nature. Some security access issues, which wasn't a threat, but did prevent some of those notifications from being viewed or received. So with this update, all of those things appear to have been corrected. I've checked back with those supervisors, and they've all informed me that, yeah, they now see the staff that they formerly weren't able to. We've checked people's pay stubs. It now reflect their correct position titles. So with this update, what we needed to do was actually create new department codes, create new positions, right? Assign all of those positions. It just was a large endeavor, but I'm happy to report that all of those updates are completed and appear to have been fixed and addressed. But if anyone still does have any questions or issues, we would welcome that.
How's the neighbor island recruitment stuff?
Trustee Alapa. Sorry, microphone. Thank you.
How's the recruitment for the neighbor islands?
So the BSA Maui recruitment, we should, again, that one is in PRF approval. So hopefully that one should be offered and hopefully accepted shortly. Let's see, which other ones did we have for the neighbor islands? I think that's the only one that's close to being filled. Oh, and then the Maui Nui compliance advocate position is also in reference checks. So that one, not reference checks, experience score. So I believe the reference checks have already been completed, and we're doing the experience score to determine what the competitive compensation rate would be for that successful candidate. Any other questions, trustees?
Members, any other questions for Corey? All right, seeing none.
All right, mahalo nui.
Corey, thank you so much for all you do, brother. All right. Next, we have another update. Professional Development and Huakaʻi Staff Survey. I'm going to bring up K.Sean Kekina to the table. Aloha, K.Sean.
Aloha. Our administration team is pleased to share an update on the planned OHA offsite days for this year. The selected dates are March 9th, June 5th, August 7th, and October 16th. These dates were chosen after careful consideration of multiple factors, including peak operational periods, our PIA schedules and commitments, and alignment with our OHA organizational calendar. I'd also like to note that these locations that we are currently finalizing are subject to availability and are still pending pricing negotiations. So the potential sites that were actually identified through an all OHA employee survey. And we really wanted to ensure that staff input was central to the selection process. And in addition, we considered survey indicators related to levels of INA engagement and also the conditions for weather during each time of year. So I know that the board and the administration have affirmed that this is valuable, and holding quarterly all OHA offsite trainings are a commitment of the entire organization. So participation in these offsites will also be incorporated into our employee performance reviews. And while the specific evaluation criteria and weighting are still under development, we will provide further details once these components are finalized. Are there any questions?
Any questions, members? All right. Oh, Trustee Aquino.
Thank you, Chair. I appreciate that. K.Sean, thank you for your work on this. Does the survey cover employee satisfaction with the off-site training?
So we actually have post surveys that have been going out. That's something new as well, to take into account the satisfaction and also, I would say, the areas that employees are most interested in. But with this survey that I'm referring to, it actually just pulled locations that employees are interested in attending and learning from, and then also, I guess, what they would like to get out of each engagement.
So you could present at another time the results of employee satisfaction with the program.
Definitely, and we'd be happy to do that with
Thank
one
you.
of our
I'd
post
be very
surveys.
interested.
Okay, mahalo.
Any other questions, members? All right, K.Sean, mahalo, brother.
Mahalo nui.
All right. Next, we have an update from presentation on the current status of fiscal year 26-27 grant funds to program 7130 health outcomes for the University of Hawaii John A. Burns School of Medicine Department of Native Hawaiian Health. Fiscal year 26, 668,800, and fiscal year 27, 240,000. This time I'm going to bring Kuike, Kamakea Ohelo. How you doing, sir?
Aloha, Chair, members of the board. Happy New Year. It's my first time back in front of you on this table. Mahalo for the opportunity to present. If you can give me just a few moments. I will try and keep my presentation to 5 minutes and then following up with questions. Just keep it very brief. We're good to go, Lewa. Yeah, no problem. So today's update is about building Native Hawaiian behavioral health workforce and its capacity through our partnership with UH JAPSUM's Department of Native Hawaiian Health. This is not just a funding agreement. It is a system-building work that strengthens culturally grounded care pathways for our lahui. The focus is workforce access and long-term health system alignment. Just a few more moments as we wait for the slide to come up on screen.
All of your patience, members, while we get the slide up and running.
Yeah, Maika'i. Next slide. So this Olelo No'ea reflects the intent of this partnership. When we invest in the right conditions, cultural grounding, education, and mentorship, our people flourish. So JAPSUM's Native Hawaiian Health work is about nurturing the environment where future providers emerge, not just a funding program. Next slide. So this is a formalized partnership with UH JAPSUM through a state-to-state MOA or cooperative agreement. The total investment is $908,800 across 2 fiscal years. The agreement will define scope, deliverables, reporting, and accountability, ensuring alignment with OHA's outcomes. And this partnership expands culturally grounded health education and service capacity, like I mentioned a few moments earlier, while establishing clear performance tracking. Next slide. So this project directly advances OHA's MIMO Outcomes 3.1, expanding access to culturally adapted prevention and treatment. 3.2, coordinating a culturally adapted Native Hawaiian health system. And it also contributes to cultural perpetuation through Ike-based curriculum, reduced incarceration, through improved health, behavioral access, and this is the root cause investment, to develop workforce and culturally responsive care to reduce downstream system impacts. Next slide. So because UH is a state entity, this is a state-to-state agreement, not a procurement. We are emphasizing structure and accountability through defined KPIs, quarterly progress and expenditure reporting, and year-end outcomes brief. So this ensures BOT visibility into outputs, beneficiaries reached, and also financial stewardship. Next slide. So the total allocation is $908,800. In fiscal year 26, $668,800. Fiscal year 27, $240,000. So payments tied to milestones or cost reimbursement are to be settled and finalized in the agreement terms of the MOA. And funds support training infrastructure, supervision, and service delivery, not just instruction. Next slide. So I know we skipped one slide, but that's totally fine. This is where we're at. So the agenda item is the current status of this project. So where we are right now is we're awaiting the finalizing of the PMTs from JAPSOM. So the ball's in their court right now. Once we receive that back, we can finalize the MOA and then get that off to our Corp Counsel for finalizations and then route that through signatures. The hope is we can finalize we can work through the PMTs and get that done within the week. And then the dispersal of funds through the mentioned process, the aforementioned process by February 20th. Next slide. So timing matters. Releasing funds now allows students in the current semester to benefit. Any delays will push impacts to fall semester and slows workforce pipeline momentum. And your support, just mahalo you folks for your support, but your support continually will impact training continuation for JAPSOM, service delivery to youth in need, and sustain multi-year collaboration with JAPSOM. Last slide. So in closing, this partnership strengthens Native Hawaiian health systems from the inside out. Workforce development, culture, and case access aligned. It is both capacity building and health impact work. So mahalo for investing and your support for long-term system change for our beneficiaries. If you have any questions, I'll be available.
Members, any questions for Kuike? Trustee Kekina.
Thank you, Kuike. This is very exciting, and I'm glad the program is going forward. Now, you've mentioned, of course, that what will take place at JAPSOM is predicated upon the advancement of our strategic plan initiatives with regard to Native Hawaiian healthcare. What performance indicators are we looking at for being able to tell that by the end of the biennium, we're achieving that goal?
Mahalo, Trustee, for your question. If I can respond, as we await the finalizing of the PMTs and develop out the KPIs, we will truly know what the impact is and be able to report back by the end of the biennium. However, I'm just going to say that this investment in this program will not only provide resources and access for a cohort of 24 over the 2 fiscal years as far as fellows. So not only will we be increasing the workforce by 24 baseline, we will also be investing in behavioral health services for up to or in excess of 4,000 youth across the Pai'aina. So that's one of the most critical KPIs of this investment. And I'm sure that more, as this pilot program, as this relationship grows, we will be able to report out more for you, trustee.
Are there any incentives or requirements built into the program to help ensure that the cohort stay in Hawaii and work for a period of time in their career serving Native Hawaiians in need?
So, mahalo, trustee, for the question again. That is a critical question that we raised early on. And unfortunately, I can't answer that right now, but I will get back to you with an answer.
Thank you.
And it's only because I've been absent for, quite a while now because of just been under the weather. So as I catch up, with this program, I will be happy to have meetings with you and I'll provide you an answer.
Glad to have you back.
Mahalo nui.
Members, any other questions? All right, seeing none. Very good, Kuike. Thank you so much, brother.
Mahalo nui.
Aloha. All right. All right, members, this next item on our agenda, we're going to defer it. It's going to be on our next board agenda set for February 5th. And that's the update, OHA in the community, by Lisa Von Sakona. Next, we have an update by Elena Fardin, Senior Director of Strategy and Implementation. Ad hoc committee on Mauli Ola regarding progress to date on the committee's review and reassessment of OHA strategic plan, including activities completed to date, remaining deliverables, and anticipated next steps. No board action is requested at this time. Mahalo. Aloha, Elena.
Aloha, Chair. Aloha, Trustees. The progress report before you, I just want to call out 3 main components for your information. This will be on the first page, be Section 2, Summary of Activities to Date. Here you'll find the list of the meeting dates for the committee, all in January, and the agenda items for discussion that were completed. On page 2, probably most important would be the Summary of Deliverables to Date. There you'll find the matrix of all 10 deliverables that has been charged to the committee based on BOT Action Item 25-09. With that, you'll have indicators of the deliverables that have been completed so far, which are in green, deliverables that are still in draft form in yellow, and deliverables that have not been started, those are in red. And for the update for the next BOT meeting will be on February 5th, where the ad hoc committee will be presenting its findings and reassessments, as well as our recommendations for the board to consider on the strategic plan. With that, I'm happy to take any questions on our summary of deliverables and activities to date.
Members, any questions? Anything from the chair of the ad hoc?
Oh, no,
Trustee
thank you.
Ahola?
I just wanted to thank Elena Fordin from our S&I team. She's been doing all the heavy lifting and meeting all these deliverables and making sure that we accomplish things by these due dates. And I'm looking forward to February 5th and meeting up with everyone. So thank you, Elena, for your hard work.
Awesome. Members, any other questions or comments? All right, seeing none. Mahalo, Elena. Thank you. Before we move on, I just want to say thank you to administration and the different teams and PIAs, from HR, tackling those vacancies, to, the professional development, which K.Sean spoke about earlier, the survey, the stand down, OHA stand down, right? Opportunities to increase morale. I believe it's really working and bringing everyone together. So mahalo, you guys. Our partnership with JAPSOM, as well as the strategic plan, helping us move forward in the right direction. So mahalo, you guys. All right. Next item on the agenda, new business. Approval of the Office of Hawaiian Affairs Board of Trustees resolution in recognition and honor of the life, service, and legacy of former trustee Rowena Akana. Anyone signed up to testify on this item?
No one is signed up to speak on this item.
All right, the chair moves to approve the BOT's recommendation, resolution in recognition and honor of the life, service, and legacy of former trustee Rowena Akana. Members, any questions, discussion? Trustee Akaka.
Mahalo. Is it going to be read today?
I don't believe that was a part of the agenda, but if someone would like to read it, do we have that on hand? Would you like to do us the honors?
I
trustee?
could, unless
Well,
Trustee Waihe would
yeah.
be interested.
You read it once. You want to do it again? I just want to say you did a great job, Trustee Waihe. Made us proud that day.
You did a
and
beautiful job, John.
very good job. I know it wasn't easy. You're a close friend. And so if you'd like to read it again, John. Mahalo.
A resolution of the Office of Foreign Affairs. Do we, in recognition and honor of the life, service, and legacy of former trustee Rowan Akana, whereas the Office of Hawaiian Affairs was established pursuant to Article 12, Section 5 of the Hawaii State Constitution to serve as a public trust entity for the betterment of Native Hawaiians, and whereas the Board of Trustees of the Office of Hawaiian Affairs has historically adopted resolutions to formally recognize and honor the life, service, and legacy of trustees who have rendered long-standing service to the Lahui upon their passing, and whereas Rowena Noelani Akana served as an elected trustee of the Office of Hawaiian Affairs from 1990 to 2018, a total of 28 years, making her the longest-serving trustee in the history of OHA, and whereas during nearly 3 decades of service, Trustee Akana was repeatedly elected by the Native Hawaiian electorate, reflecting sustained public trust and accountability to beneficiaries, and whereas Trustee Akana dedicated her public life to advancing Native Hawaiian rights and well-being with particular advocacy in housing, education, health, economic stability, and protection of Hawaiian lands and resources, and whereas Trustee Akana was a tireless advocate for kupuna healthcare, kuleana land tax exemptions, and coordinated care and support for Native Hawaiian veterans and Hawaiian soldiers wounded while serving in Iraq and Afghanistan, and whereas Trustee Akana's service was marked by her fearless independence, willingness to raise difficult questions, and commitment to representing community voices even when politically challenging, and whereas Trustee Akana consistently affirmed Hawaiian unity, self-determination, and the pursuit of social and political justice for Native Hawaiians, including advocacy for Hawaiian nationhood and sovereignty for future generations, and whereas Trustee Akana lived a life as a wahine, koa, and steadfast voice for the Lahui, leaving an enduring imprint on OHA's institutional history and on generations of beneficiaries. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Office of Hawaiian Affairs formally recognizes, honors, and commemorates the life, service, and legacy of former trustee Rowena Akana for her 28 years of elected service to the Lahui, and be it further resolved that the board expresses its gratitude and appreciation for Trustee Akana's lifelong commitment to the betterment of Native Hawaiians and acknowledges her contributions as a permanent part of OHA's historical record, and be it further resolved that this resolution be entered into the official records of the Office of Foreign Affairs, shared with the Ohana of Rowena Akana, and referenced or published in appropriate OHA communications, including Kavaiola and Be it finally resolved that the Board of Trustees extends its condolences to the Ohana friends and community of Rowena Akana, honoring her memory and legacy in service to the Lahui, adopted this 29th day of January 2026, island of Oahu, state of Hawaii, by the Board of Trustees of the Office of Hawaiian Affairs.
Mahalo, Trustee Waihe. You're a good friend, brother. Members, any discussion? If not, Trustee Kaka.
Although I would like to also add to what the resolution had shared in some of her many accomplishments and works here at the Office of Foreign Affairs. Trustee Akana, when it came to property tax exemptions for kuleana lands, thanks to her efforts, and she brought forward she established a statewide property tax exemption for Native Hawaiians who are living on kuleana lands who are descendants of the original owners. and there were heavy tax burdens that were placed on Native Hawaiians on Kuleana land, and these owners were finally brought to an end after 116 years. And this was as Hawaiian families who'd been caring for their Kuleana lands for generations since this was enacted by King Kamehameha III in 1848, that they were suddenly faced with skyrocketing property taxes after luxury resorts and shopping malls sprang up around them. So this brought much relief, and after her campaign to save them and working with the city and county of Honolulu, these tax exemptions were established through her work. She also fervently worked on the Fannie Mae Home Loan Program, and this was instrumental in forming the Fannie Mae partnership with OHA, the Bank of Hawaii, and First Hawaiian Bank to provide home loans for all Hawaiians. And this was a first-time program at the Office of Hawaiian Affairs where $135 million was committed to OHA for home loans for all Hawaiians. She was also part of the Governor's Interstate Indian Council, also known as the GIIC. She was a part of the board of directors, and the GIIC's mission is to improve and promote cooperation between states and tribal governments and to protect the political and economic self-determination of Native peoples. She also designed the registry, also known as the Hawaiian Registry Program, the database program that was sponsored by her to acknowledge the Hawaiian ancestry of our Native Hawaiian people. She also co-sponsored with Trustees Hau and Keale the Native Hawaiian Revolving Loan Program. She wrote the foreword to the book written and titled as To Steal a Kingdom by Michael Doherty. She helped to create the AHA Opio program alongside Trustee Keale. She helped continue it after the sponsorship of Trustee Keale, as well as the AHA Kupuna program. She served as a Pacific representative for the group known as the American Indian Alaska Native Tourism Association, also known as AIANTA, from 2013. And their mission is to define, introduce, grow, and sustain Native American and Alaska Native tourism that honors and sustains tribal traditions and values. She helped sponsor a $500,000 project, also known as the Quality Homes of the Pacific. And this is a prefab manufacturing plant creating steel constructed homes for under $60,000 per unit for Hawaiian people. She also was part of an annual commitment to scholarships of totaling to $350,000, and it was created to help the GAP group. And this was a sponsorship with Trustee Akana and Trustee Keale, as well as self-help housing, a $7 million that were committed to this project for people who had land and could not afford general contractors. And this project was allowing landowners to build their own house. And this was also sponsored by Trustee Akana and Trustee Hau. And when it came to the Kekula Ni'ihau o Kekaha School on Kauai, this Hawaiian language school, it's where English-speaking children learn to speak Hawaiian, and all curriculum was then taught in Hawaiian. And this was a sponsorship by Trustee Hii, Iona, Keale, and Trustee Akana. And on Hawaii Island, the school Kikala Kiokea subdivision, this is where OHA supported and funded putting infrastructure for Hawaiians who have been displaced by the lava flow. And this was sponsored by Trustee Akana and Trustee Trask. And with the creation of the Moloka'i Community Center, this became the one-stop center for Hawaiians. And this has provided services to the Hawaiian community by housing, by OHA, the Department of Hawaiian Homelands, Alulike, and others. And this was sponsored by Trustee Hii, Iona, and Akana. She also helped with the OHA funding for the master's program in Hawaiian language at the University of Hawaii Hilo. And this program was paying for the instruction for these classes to guarantee that there would be graduates who will elect to go beyond the undergraduate degree in their education. And this was through the work of Trustee Akana, Trustee He, as well as Trustee Kiale. And when it came to Hawaiian immersion schools, OHA paid the Department of Education to teach Hawaiian language in the public school system, making it possible for all students to learn Hawaiian. And this was through the work of Trustees Kealoha, and this was supported by the trustees, the Board of Trustees, and through the work of Trustee Akana. Also, with the Hawaiian homestead loans, there was $20 million. And in this program, it was funded to the people on Hawaiian homestead lands with funds to repair their homes, as well as providing cash to those recipients who were awarded home lots but had no cash for their down payments. And this was sponsored by Trustee Akana, Trustee He, Iona, and Kiale. When it came to the Kupuna Health Program, this program was identifying elderly who did not have health care and links to connect them to existing programs. And this was sponsored by Trustee Akana. And this grant totaled $300,000 to the Luna Lilo homes to offset the high cost of care for elderly patients. And in Hilo, with the Navai Hio Kalani o Pu'u school, OHA purchased the school for $1.4 million. And this school taught academics only in Hawaiian from 1st to 12th grade, and this was through the sponsorship of Trustee Akana, Trustee He, Iona, and Kiale. And when it came to the Habitat for Humanity, this allowed housing for our beneficiaries to build their own homes through Trustee Akana, Kiale, Hau, and He. She served as the first state sovereignty chair. When it came to the New Valley Fee Simple Committee, she chaired that, and it was instrumental in giving Neo Valley homeowners the opportunity to buy their land in fee simple. She was a reviewer of federal grants. She was the past president of the Culture and Arts Program at the Bishop Museum, a part of the Kennedy Center's Millennium Stage for Hawaii's musical history, and that was sponsored by her. Also through the work of the Smithsonian Institute, with the Kennedy Center, as well as with the Fannie Mae Foundation. And it was to help educate in Washington, D.C., in the community of Native Hawaiian music. There's countless other things that she did in terms of education. I could go on and on with pages of this, with housing, with health, with human services, economic development, native rights, land and culture, grant making, research, land acquisition, new initiatives that highlighted the work of Hawaii's disabled veterans, work when it came to kokua to the Kauaiha'o Church, totaling about $1 million to this halepule, Luna Lilo Homes, as I had mentioned earlier, the Bishop Museum, Hawaiian-focused public charter schools, the treatment regarding those with diabetes, culture and the arts, more in human services, and more in health. And I wanted to highlight some of the the many contributions of Trustee Akana in her time, in her 28 years as a trustee and also chairing here at the Office of Hawaiian Affairs, and in her work in philanthropic work and with her dedication towards the betterment of Native Hawaiian people as well as Native Indigenous people throughout the world. Mahalo.
Mahalo, Trustee Akaka. And
I also wanted to note too that I wanted to mahalo Nathan Takeuchi, who is part of Team Akaka but has also been the kokua and limahana for Trustee Akana through the years as well. Mahalo, Nathan.
Mahalo, Nathan. Thank you, bro. And of course, mahalo to Trustee Akana. I know she's watching down, and John, I know you're very close, and I know we got to hang out a lot, and she's special. So, mahalo. All right, next, moving on. Oh, we forgot to vote, members. I forgot we even had a motion on the table. Members, any more discussion? Mahalo. Can I get a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Ahuna.
Aye.
Trustee Akaka.
Aye.
Trustee Akina.
Aye.
Trustee Alapa. Trustee Galuteria is excused. Trustee Lindsay is excused. Trustee Waihe'e.
Yes.
Trustee Kahele is excused. Chair Souza.
Aye.
You have 6 yes votes.
Awesome. Mahalo. That's fine. If you want to flow, I mean, you're allowed 5 minutes per. So if you want to take the 15 minutes and present one time. Yeah. Okay.
To perhaps lessen confusion, if it is based on certain matrices
Yeah.
that other testifiers may want to speak
Yeah.
on, maybe we should do it by matrix by matrix.
Or what do you want to do, James?
No, let's keep it on topic.
Okay.
My comments go with
All right.
your vote on the matrix, and when we'll go to the next topic, because the matrices are, by topic.
Totally fine. Yeah. So you know what? That being said,
Matrix 3, that's what you're gonna.
yeah. So that being said, I'll call you up when we get to the matrix. Thank you very much. Mahalo. OHA 2026 State Legislative Bill Package, Matrix 1. And at this time, I'm going to call upon Trustee Akaka to read the motion. We have the motion on the screen.
Aye.
Trustee Akaka.
The Committee on Beneficiary Advocacy and Empowerment, having met on January 28, 2026, and after full and free discussion, recommends approval of the following motion to the Board of Trustees. And this is to approve the 2026 OHA State Legislative Bill Package, Matrix 1.
A motion. That is the motion. Mahalo. Any discussion, members? All right, can I get a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Ahuna.
Aye.
Trustee Akaka.
Aye.
Trustee Akina. Trustee Alapa. Trustee Galuteria is excused. Trustee Lindsay is excused. Trustee Waihe'e.
Yes.
Trustee Kahele is excused. And Chair Souza. You have 6 yes votes.
All right, mahalo. Matrix 2, Trustee Akaka.
This is to approve and amend the 2026 legislature OHA position bills naming OHA Matrix 2 with amendments, HB 1615 relating to the Hawaiʻi Technology Development Corporation from support with amendments to comment, SB 2109 relating to emergency preparedness communications from no support to support, SB 2083 relating to state Hawaii, state-owned historic properties from support with amendments to comment.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Trustee Ahuna. Trustee Akaka.
Aye.
Trustee Akina.
Aye.
Trustee Alapa. Trustee Galuteria is excused. Trustee Lindsay is excused. Trustee Waihe'e.
Yes.
Trustee Kahele is excused. Chair Souza.
Aye.
You have 6 yes votes.
Mahalo. And this next, I know we have someone signed up to testify. Is there anyone else besides James Maioho?
There's no one else.
All right. I'm going to call James Maioho to the table. Aloha, James. And once again, this is for Matrix 3. Yes, sir.
Aloha, folks. Good to see you again. Mahalo for giving me time. I am James Maioho. I represent Kiai'iwi Alaka'i, which is a lobbying and Kanaka interest groups that represents the opinions of various coalitions and constituents here. I'm here to speak to Matrix 3 bills affecting the public land trust. I want to frame my remarks clearly. This is about fiduciary duty and whether the public land trust is being administered in a way that fulfills or breaches its core purposes. Under the Admission Act in Article 11 of the Hawaii State Constitution, public lands and the revenues are to be held in trust for specific purposes, including the betterment of Native Hawaiians. OHA exists precisely because those trust purposes were historically violated. That means OHA is not merely another stakeholder. You're a trust institution with a heightened duty to scrutinize how public lands are used, leased, and encumbered. From that standpoint, the continued structure of long-term military leases and live fire training regimes on trust lands must be treated as a standing trust problem, not a settled political arrangement. Military leases remove vast areas of land from meaningful public and Native Hawaiian use, restrict cultural access, and have repeatedly resulted in environmental degradation, unexploded ordnance contamination, and burial disturbance. These impacts are not incidental. They are inherent in the way the lands have been managed. When trust lands are functionally converted into permanent military zones, the trust purpose is not being advanced, it is being displaced. This is where the breach of trust becomes real. A breach of trust occurs when trustees allow trust assets to be used in ways that systematically undermine the trust purposes, especially when those harms are well documented and long-standing. I am urging this board to use Matrix 3 to draw a firm legislative line. OHA's public land trust position should explicitly reject any extension or expansion of military leases that lack enforceable cultural, environmental, and burial protections. Oppose any legislative or administrative framework that treats military control as the default future of trust lands. Support measures that restore land, strengthen oversight, require remediation, and prioritize Native Hawaiian, meaning Kanaka, and community use. And align OHA's advocacy with efforts to subject military land use to true trust-based standards, not minimal compliance. Matrix 3 is not about managing leases better. It is about whether OHA is willing to assert that some uses are fundamentally inconsistent with trust purposes. I'm really here just to point out that OHA has an opportunity to lead, to help shape trust-centered policy frameworks, to demand accountability, to support legislative reforms, and to partner with community and cultural practitioners who are working hard towards land restoration and corrective models. I encourage the board to ensure that Matrix 3 reflects not only technical positions on bills, but a clearer assertion that public lands exist first for public and Native Hawaiian benefit, not permanent militarization. Okay, mahalo for letting me read that in.
Mahalo, James. Trustee Akaka, please read the motion.
This is to approve and amend the 2026 legislature OHA position on bills affecting the public land trust, also known as Crown Lands of the Hawaiian, Crown and Government Lands of the Hawaiian Kingdom. Matrix 3 with amendments, SB 2001 relating to Banyan Drive Community Development District from support with amendments to comment.
Any discussion, members? All right, roll call, please.
Trustee Ahuna.
Aye.
Trustee Akaka.
Aye.
Trustee Akina.
Aye.
Trustee Alapa. Trustee Galuteri is excused. Trustee Lindsay is excused. Trustee Waihe'e.
Yes.
Trustee Kahele is excused. Chair Souza. Aye. You have 6 yes votes.
Motion passes, mahalo, members. Next, number 4. OHA position on bills affecting natural resources and Native Hawaiian traditional and customary practices. Anyone signed up to testify?
Yes, we have James Maioho.
All right, James. Welcome back to the table, James.
Mahalo. Natural resources, traditional practices, burial protection, and public trust duties and Native Hawaiian health are not separate issues. They are one issue. They are all expressions of how this state and this office either honors or violates its trust obligations. When OHA takes positions on natural resource bills, you are not commenting on abstract policy. You are shaping what happens on the ground, where development is allowed, how land is treated, and whether cultural and spiritual responsibilities are protected or subordinated to economic pressure. From my perspective as a lineal descendant, cultural practitioner, and trust beneficiary, I'm writing this board that we are approaching and in some cases have already crossed a breach of this trust. I am particularly concerned about the continued push towards geothermal expansion and so-called renewable development on lands that are culturally sensitive, historically burdened, and often insufficiently surveyed for burials and traditional use. Geothermal is not neutral. It is not culturally benign. It involves deep drilling, infrastructure, corridors, transmission lines, road building, and industrial footprints. Wherever geothermal is pursued, burial disturbance follows. Cultural access is restricted, and trust lands are transformed into industrial zones. OHA cannot claim to defend traditional and customary practices while supporting or remaining silent on development frameworks that industrialize native lands and endanger iwi kupuna. If OHA adopts Matrix 4 positions that facilitate geothermal expansion without ironclad burial protections, without lineal descendant authority, and without trust-based land use limitations, then OHA itself becomes complicit in the erosion of the very practices it claims to protect. Natural resource is burial policy. Energy policy is burial policy. Land use is burial policy. And burial policy is trust law. I am asking the board to use Matrix 4 to do three things clearly and publicly. First, reject any natural resource or energy bill that weakens environmental review, cultural review, or burial protections, especially as they relate to geothermal and subsurface development. Second, affirmatively support choices that elevate Native Hawaiian stewardship, community control, and cultural landscape protection, not just surface level consultation. Third, formally recognize that geothermal development on or near trust lands and Hawaiian homelands is inconsistent with the fiduciary duty to protect cultural resources and iwi kupuna unless and until a completely different governance and consent framework is in place. If OHA fails to draw that line, the trust will continue to be treated as an asset pool rather than a living obligation. Matrix 4 is whether you either protect the foundations of culture or you quietly permit their dismantling. I urge you to choose protection, not convenience. All right, thank you for letting me.
All right, James, and you can stay right there because I know you're going to testify for Matrix number 5 as well. Trustee Akaka.
This is to approve and amend the 2026 Legislature OHA position bills affecting natural resources and Native Hawaiian traditional and customary practices for Matrix 4 with amendments HB 1543 relating to environmental review from support to monitor, SB 2084 relating to marine life conservation districts from opposed to monitor, HB 1619 relating to electric vehicle infrastructure from opposed to monitor, SB 2078 relating to the Department of Land and Natural Resources, also known as DLNR, from monitor to comment, and SB 2161 relating to land use from opposed to monitor.
On members' discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Aye.
Trustee Akina. Trustee Alapa. Trustee Galutaria is excused. Trustee Lindsay is excused. Trustee Waihe'e. Trustee Kahele is excused. Chair Souza.
Aye.
You have 6 yes votes.
All right, motion passes. Matrix number 5, OHA position on bills affecting Native Hawaiian housing. Anyone signed up to testify? We have Mr. James Maioho. Aloha, James.
Aloha. Mahalo. Regarding Matrix 5, what I'm offering today is both a warning and an invitation. A warning about where the current systems are failing our people and an invitation to OHA to see this work as a partnership opportunity and a resource for policy and pilot program development. Native Hawaiian homelessness is not simply a social service issue. It is a living evidence of a breakdown in land access, trust administration, and institutional alignment. Every Hawaiian sleeping in a car, in a park, or being shuffled between temporary programs is a visible marker of mission failure across multiple agencies. Housing is a trust responsibility. The Hawaiian Homes Commission Act, the Admission Act, and the OHA's own statutory mandate all rest on the idea that land is supposed to lift Native Hawaiians out of displacement, not manage them within it. From that perspective, homelessness among Native Hawaiians is already a breach condition. At the same time, I want to acknowledge something important. OHA is not DHHL. You do not issue leases, you do not control homesteading timelines, but you are a beneficiary advocate, a trust entity, and a policy leader. This gives you a unique role to convene, align, and catalyze corrective models when the system is not working. This is where my work and the DHHL, a pilot concept that we're developing, will come in. Deals with emergency response. I'm going to bypass some of this just for the record. From a legislative standpoint, Matrix 5 should reflect the reality of your trust responsibilities. OHA's housing positions should not be limited to production metrics and funding streams. They should affirmatively support emergency Native Hawaiian placements, kupuna-centered housing, DHHL reform and mission alignment, and Kanaka-led stewardship and transitional occupancy models. This is the warning piece of it. If Native Hawaiian housing policy continues to be driven primarily by development frameworks, financing instruments, mortgages and such, and industrial land use pressures, including geothermal and large-scale infrastructure expansion, then homelessness will continue to grow, not shrink. Land that should be healing our people is being positioned as an economic platform instead. The trajectory deepens the trust breach. I'm not here to criticize you folks, but to ask you to look at this in a more corrective way and a coalition building way. And Matrix 5 is where OHA can publicly signal that it's prepared to support innovative, culturally grounded, and trust-aligned housing solutions, not only conventional programs. I encourage this board to direct staff to engage deeply on Native Hawaiian homelessness, DHHL alignment, and pilot models that actually move Hawaiians back onto land. Mahalo.
All right, mahalo, James. Trustee Akaka.
This is to approve and amend the 2026 Legislature OHA position on bills affecting Native Hawaiian housing, Matrix 5, with amendments SB 266 relating to land use from opposed to monitor, SB 23442 relating to housing from no position to support.
Discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Ahuna.
Aye.
Trustee Akaka.
Aye.
Trustee Akina.
Aye.
Trustee Alapa. Trustee Galuteri is excused. Trustee Lindsay is excused. Trustee Waihe'e.
Yes.
Trustee Kahele is excused. Chair Souza.
Aye.
You have 6 yes votes.
Motion passes. Mahalo. Okay, Matrix 6, OHA position on bills affecting Native Hawaiian health. Anyone signed up to testify?
There's no one signed up to
All
testify.
right, seeing none, Trustee Akaka?
This is to approve the 2026 Legislature OHA position on bills affecting Native Hawaiian health, Matrix 6.
Any discussion? All right, roll call, please.
Trustee Akaka.
Aye.
Trustee Akina. Trustee Alapa. Trustee Galuteri is excused. Trustee Lindsay is excused. Trustee Waihe'e.
Yes.
Trustee Kahele is excused. Chair Souza. You have 6 yes votes.
All right, motion passes. Matrix number 7, OHA position on bills affecting Native Hawaiian education. Anyone signed up to testify?
There is no one signed up to testify.
All right, seeing none, Trustee Akaka?
This is to approve the 2026 Legislature OHA position on bills affecting Native Hawaiian education, Matrix 7.
All righty, discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Akaka.
Aye.
Trustee Akina. Trustee Alapa. Trustee Galuteri is excused. Trustee Lindsay is excused. Trustee Waihe'e.
Yes.
Trustee Kahele is excused. Chair Souza.
Aye.
You have 6 yes votes.
Mahalo, motion passes. Matrix 8, OHA position on bills affecting Native Hawaiian economic stability. Anyone signed up to testify?
There's no one signed up to testify.
All right. Trustee Akaka.
To approve and amend the 2026 Legislature OHA position bills affecting Native Hawaiian economic stability, Matrix 8 with amendments, HB 1585 relating to the general excise tax from support to monitor, SB 2082 relating to teacher workforce housing from support to monitor, SB 2091 relating to school bus drivers from support to monitor, SB 2291 relating to family caregiver support from support to monitor.
Any discussion, members? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Ahuna. Trustee Akaka.
Aye.
Trustee Akina.
Aye.
Trustee Alapa. Trustee Galutaria is excused. Trustee Lindsay is excused. Trustee Waihe'e.
Yes.
Trustee Kahele is excused. Chair Souza.
Aye.
You have 6 yes votes.
Mahalo, motion passes. Matrix number 9. OHA position on bills affecting Hawaii Revised Statutes, Chapter 6E, Iwi Kupuna and Historic Preservation. I know we have Mr. James Maioho. Welcome you back to the table, James. Aloha.
Yeah, mahalo for indulging me. This is the last one. I'm here to speak directly to Matrix 9 because this matrix goes to the heart of your trust responsibilities, iwi kupuna, burial protection, and the integrity of Chapter 6E. I'm formally calling on this board to support HB 2460 and its Senate companion bill and to place it in the matrix with an official support position. After the testimony I gave yesterday, burial governance and failures of the existing system, it would be indefensible for OHA to adopt a Chapter 60 legislative package that does not affirmatively support a bill like 2460. Chapter 60 was not created to facilitate development. It was created to protect iwi kupuna and historic and cultural places. Over time, it has been bent towards project clearance rather than protection, agency control rather than family authority, and process compliance rather than cultural justice. HB 2460 represents an opportunity to correct course. OHA exists because of trust failures. You are not a neutral observer in burial law. You are a beneficiary advocate and a trust guardian. That role carries a duty to intervene when the legal framework governing burials is producing harm. I am warning this board continuing to support weak agency-centered burial regimes while families are marginalized is not just bad policy, it's a breach of trust. A breach of trust does not only happen when money is mishandled, it happens when the core trust purposes are undermined. The protection of iwi kupuna is one of those core purposes. I'm asking you to do the following on the record. List HB 2460 under Matrix 9, adopt a support position, direct your legislative advocacy staff to treat it as a priority bill, and communicate clearly to the legislature that OHA stands for strengthening burial protections, not streamlining their erosion. If HB 2460 is absent from this matrix, then the matrix itself is incomplete and misaligned with beneficiary interests. Matrix 9 is not symbolic. It is your public declaration of what you will defend. And I'm asking you to defend iwi kupuna. And like I asked the committee yesterday, I do ask this body to withdraw SB 4. It was reintroduced, which was a surprise to many folks. And it's a competitive bill that takes up space in the conversation. And I'm going to be very frank with you, it's not going to pass. And pragmatically, it'll save me a lot of time from having to fight you folks on it. I think this is the other bill. I didn't write it, just for the record. Other folks wrote it. But I support it because it's in the last 3 years of doing this, fighting this fight, it's the best compromise that I've seen that the societies, the civic clubs, the stakeholders, the elite trusts, and even tacitly the administration is on board with doing. It's something that offers immediate protection from some of the unelected administrative actions we've seen and really sets those decisions in the hands of the stakeholders in a formal way, which was always done in an informal way before a kahu was hired or something, and it's speaking specifically about that property. These groups are always included informally by our family or by the elite trust or things. But this just codifies that into a formal, immovable solution. And there's double-edged swords in all legislation, but I'm supporting that right now because it's the best compromise that I've seen. So mahalo for your consideration.
Mahalo, James, and mahalo for being here today and for your testimony. Aloha, brother. All right, Trustee Akaka.
This is to approve the 2026 Legislature OHA positions on bills affecting Hawaii Revised Statutes Chapter 6E regarding iwi kupuna and historic preservation, Matrix 9.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Ahuna.
Aye.
Trustee Akaka.
Aye.
Trustee Akina.
Aye.
Trustee Alapa. Trustee Galutaria is excused. Trustee Lindsay is excused. Trustee Waihe'e.
Yes.
Trustee Kahele is excused. Chair Souza.
Aye.
You have 6 yes votes.
All right. Mahalo to Trustee Akaka and Trustee Galutaria and the BAE committee. Mahalo. All right. Next, we have community concerns and celebrations. Anyone signed up to testify on this item?
Yes, we have one person online virtually. Her name is Angela Neller.
All
Angela
right.
will be moving you over.
Aloha, Angela. She's coming over right now. Hello, Angela. Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, we're gonna try and bring you up on our end. Can you try again, Angela?
Oh, yeah, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, that's fine. Perfect. Thank you.
All right. Aloha mai kako. Angela Neller, I'm Angela Neller. I'm a Kanaka Oiwi, and I'm offering this testimony with respect and careful consideration regarding the Native American Graves Protection and Repatriation Act. I recognize the complexity of the circumstances and the many perspectives involved, and I approach this matter with humility and thoughtfulness. My intention is to contribute in a way that is constructive, ethical, and grounded in care for the lahui and the responsibilities at the center of this work. Positionality matters. Hawaiian history is not confined to the past. It unfolds every day, shaping the lives of our people and the responsibilities we carry forward. Lineage is not abstract, it is lived. Future generations will inherit the consequences of what is preserved, altered, or left behind. I am deeply concerned that the voices of Hawaiians broadly are being excluded from decisions regarding the return of our ancestral treasures under NAGPRA. I approach this testimony with respect for the work that has come before and for the individuals who carried the kuleana of bringing our iwi kupuna home. However, changes to the NAGPRA regulations have resulted in the widespread claiming and repatriation of Hawaiian cultural objects without the knowledge of the majority of our community. The 2024 regulations require museums to defer to Native Hawaiian organizations in the identification of NAGPRA cultural items defined as funerary objects, sacred objects, or objects of cultural patrimony. In cases where Hawaiian objects may contain human remains, such as kahili or leiniho palawa or umeke with human teeth, these items may be defined as human remains under the law if identified as such by a Native Hawaiian organization. NAGPRA presents particular challenges for Native Hawaiians because we are not organized as federally recognized tribes with centralized governing authority. As a result, NAGPRA is often applied to Hawaiians on a first-come, first-served basis. Many museums do not know who within the Hawaiian community to contact, or they are hesitant to engage once a claim has been made. Since the regulatory changes, there have been 26 claims involving 467 cultural items under NAGPRA. Of these, 10 were identified as unassociated funerary objects, 99 as sacred objects, 4 as objects of cultural patrimony, and 53 as both sacred objects and objects of cultural patrimony. These items include lei, lehulu, umeke, pu, ie kuku, ohe kapala, kapa, moena, puniu, ipupavehi, pohaku kuiai, hale and va'a models, papale, kapa dresses, adzes, stone pestles, sling stones, fish hooks, ihe, pahoa, shark tooth weapons, ulu mica, boar tusk bracelets, wristlets, necklaces, toothbrushes, coral abraders, feather fragments, a'a fragments, and Pele's hair. Of particular note are ki'i akua, ki'i la'au, akua hulumanu, le niho palawa, kupe'e niho ilio, ahu'ula, maheoli, ipuaina, ipukuha, and a wooden bowl with figures. Some of these items are associated with Kamehameha I, Kekua o Kalani, and Hale o Keawe. Where are these objects now? Who is caring for them? Who has access to them? Power resides in access to shared knowledge. When information is withheld, decisions are made without us, and our histories are used in ways that systematically exclude and oppress. This erodes connection, creates cultural loss, and transforms knowledge into a weapon rather than a source of collective strength. Bearing witness to these realities is essential as their impacts continue to affect our communities. Stewardship must therefore be relational, rooted in accountability, trust, and reciprocity. Building a stronger foundation requires listening deeply, walking alongside our communities, and learning with humility. I am here to ask that the Office of Hawaiian Affairs take an active role in repatriation, not only under NAGPRA, but also in cases involving international claims and requests for returns from the Smithsonian Institution. I am asking that OHA be at the table, have a voice in these decisions, and help determine the appropriate care and location of our Namea Makamake, so that these continue to connect meaningfully with our people. Our Lūhui deserves transparency, inclusion, and care in decisions to shape our collective future. I'm aware of several claims that are ongoing but have yet to be published in the Federal Register. And there are currently, however, 6 notices of intent to repatriate for 68 cultural items, including 2 ki'i akua, that will be available for repatriation in February if another claimant does not come forward. Please take action to protect the rights of all Hawaiians. Mahalo.
Testifying? Community concerns?
No one else has signed up.
All right, seeing none. Next is announcements. I have an announcement. Our next BOT meeting will be on Thursday, February 5th, 2026. Members, any other announcements? Trustee Akaka.
Yes, I wanted to share that in our site visit at the Hawaii State Archives, it was shared with us that of the concert that happened in person and online, which was made available and timed in a way so that our Oiwi Kanaka that are overseas are able to view this as well. And this is the E Oni Pa'ai Ka Imi Na'awau. And this is honoring the music of our beloved Queen Lili'o Kalani and Nalani Eha. And my understanding is it was as it was composed by our beloved queen, that's how the music was played in that original format. And this was on Saturday, January 24th, 2026, and it happened at 5:30 p.m. online and in the Orvis Auditorium and at UH Manoa, and it featured musical artists such as Ku'uipo Kumukahi, my uncle Alan Akaka, Bobby Ingano, Leva, and Isaac Woodward. And I'm really thankful that the Hawaii State Archives made a point to feature this, as well as the Better Tomorrow speaker series, as it highlights the beautiful melodies that was composed by our very queen and highlighted in the way in which she originally composed it in yesteryear. Mahalo.
Trustee Akaka. Members, any other announcements? All right, seeing none, I will have the pleasure of making the motion to adjourn this meeting. Any discussion? Can I get a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Ahuna. Aye. Trustee Akaka. Trustee Kekina.
Aye.
Trustee Alapa. Trustee Galuteri is excused. Trustee Lindsay is excused. Trustee Waihe'e.
Yes.
Trustee Kahele is excused. Chair Souza.
Aye.
You have 6 yes votes. We are adjourned.
Meeting is adjourned. Mahalo, members.